Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we are going to cover the most common issues related to current affairs preparation, and we are going to analyze the general awareness section of RBI Grade B exam, the exam held on 6th of March. Now before we start, let me explain you a common scenario. In exam, you are going to find two type of students or two category of students. One category is these people have limited resources. That means their resources were limited for current affairs preparation and they revised frequently. So their resources were limited to 1 or 2 sources at max and they tried to revise it as much times as possible. Second common category is content hunters. So they try to follow multiple sources and they have a good collection of PDF in their mobile phone. Of course, since they are following more than 2 and 3 sources, they never get time to revise it, or the information they have collected from multiple sources is so much overlapping that they are frustrated and they do not want to revise it. So this is the category second. Now the second category students try to cover everything from multiple sources. They will try to follow each and every YouTube channel. They will try to follow each and every Telegram channel, website and whatnot. And when they are going to attempt the question paper, their first and foremost comment is going to be the question paper was very tough and the questions were deep questions. Questions were like UPSC level questions. This is the most common response you are going to hear from those students who do not revise properly. Why they do not revise properly? Because they are following multiple sources and they do not have any proper notes of self. General awareness section of 6th March RBI Grade B exam was doable for those who followed limited resources, no matter which shows did you follow. Even if you didn't follow this GK Today shows, that's not an issue. We are not discussing sources here. We are discussing your revision strategy. So if you have revised it properly, the question paper was doable. Of course, it was on tougher side, but it was tough for everyone. So if we are going to talk in relative sense, you are in a good position. You are in a good position. Those who didn't revise it properly, for them, it was too tough. Now the real question is, was it too tough or there was some problem in your strategy? So in this video, we are going to cover approximately 30 questions. 2 important points. First, since these questions are based on memory, so I do not know what was the exact question. However, from different sources, I have tried to collect the theme of particular question and we are going to proceed on the basis of that particular theme. So, first question is related to Andorra. Andorra joined IMF and became 190th country. So, this question was covered on the 22nd of October. Please note, exam was in March and it was covered on 22nd of October in 2020. That is October, November, December, Jan, Feb and March. So most of the questions are from this range, that is range of 6 months, and more than 50% were from this range. So I always say this, if your exam is say on 7th of December or any other date, try to follow last 3 months before exam rigorously. So if your exam is in December, you should follow September, October and November. You should try to revise it so much times that it should be on your fingertips that which news event is from which month. Again, do not try to mug up which news is from which month. The objective is you should try to revise it multiple times. Okay, so this was the first question. Next question was related to 2034 Asian Games. In fact, this question has been asked in the test itself. So you can check it from our comment section of YouTube as well. A lot of students had already answered it and we had already covered this question and it was covered on 27th of February, just 1 week before examination. Next question is India's first sand dune park. So this question was from our news events section and this was covered on 26th of October. So you can see the significance of this news section. Next question is PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Now another complaint I noticed is that questions were of multiple statements and it was too deep. No, in order to solve a question, you just need to understand the question. For this PM Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, you should know who are the beneficiaries. So it is a scheme for farmers. Recently it was in news because it completed 2 years. It was launched in 2019. To be specific, it was launched on 24th of February in 2019 and it was launched in Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh. The scheme was to provide 6,000 rupees financial support to the farmers and it is to be given in 3 installments, 2,000 each, and the land ceiling was removed. That means now there is no land ceiling for the beneficiaries. So you know this much information and with the help of this information you can easily eliminate the wrong options even if the question is of multiple statements. This question was covered on 25th of February. Next question is related to PM Kusum scheme. So again, PM Kusum scheme is related to solar energy. It is a scheme of MNRE, that is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. This question was covered on 23rd of November, and this question was also covered on 17th of November, that which union ministry implemented PM Kusum scheme. So this scheme was in news because recently the guidelines related to this scheme were changed, and that is why the scheme was in news. It is a scheme to give a boost to the solar power in our country. So recently guidelines were changed that on which type of land the solar power plants can be installed. So as per new guidelines, even on marshy land and on pasture land, the new solar power plants can be set up, and this was issued by the MNRE, that is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Next question is, which financial organization topped BFSI Movers and Shakers 2020 report? So this question was covered on 27th or 28th of December. This is the exact tagline, and it was topped by SDFC. And these three banks, that is SDFC, ICICI and SBI, are DSIB, that is Domestic Systemically Important Banks. Next question is related to PM Vay Vandana Yojana. So this scheme was covered on 10th of February. It is a scheme under Ministry of Women and Child Development. It was launched in 2016. Recently this was in news because it covered 1.75 crore women beneficiaries till 2020. As per this scheme, the pregnant women and lactating mothers receive 5,000 rupees on the birth of their first child in 3 installments. Next question was related to number of seats in the Puducherry or Pondicherry Assembly. Even this topic was covered, and I had uploaded a special video on this topic, and in that video I had explicitly mentioned that there are 33 seats, out of which 30 are elected and 3 are nominated. Recently this was in news because of the president's rule in the Puducherry. Actually Pondicherry is the previous name, the new name is Puducherry. Next is related to India's global rank in energy consumption. So this report was released by IEA, and this is a direct question, and this is a direct and simple question. So as per this, India is on 4th position, and India will overtake European Union in 2030, and at that point of time it will be the 3rd largest energy consumer. The headquarters of IEA is in France. Next question is world's first energy island in North Sea. So this question was covered on 9th of February, and this is the question or news event to be specific. So in this news event, it was explicitly mentioned that world's first energy island is going to be in Denmark in North Sea. Next question was related to Global Innovation Index. This was covered on 4th of September, and this is a news event. India's rank, previous rank, top countries, who released this index. Next question was related to Ayushman Sehkar scheme. So this was covered on 22nd of October, and as you can see, this is Narendra Singh Tomar, the minister. The scheme is to be implemented by NCDC, that is National Cooperative Development Corporation. It is a statutory body under Agriculture Ministry. So the objective is to assist cooperatives in the creation of healthcare infrastructure. Next question was related to a list. Published by Forbes, and as per that list, which Indian PSU was on top position as world's best employer of 2020. So NTPC is the world's best employer as per this list of Forbes. This question was covered on 28th of October. Next is India's first fire park. So India's first fire park is going to be in Bhubaneswar in Odisha. This was covered on 14th and 15th of January. Next is India's largest multimodal logistic park. So this is going to be in Gujarat in Ahmedabad, and India's first multimodal logistic park is going to be in Jogighopa in Assam. Actually these two questions were covered in the same video of 10th of February, and I think these two questions were asked in 2 different shifts, but the core theme was multimodal logistic park. So in one shift they might have asked about India's largest multimodal logistic park. In second shift they might have asked about first logistic park of India. In fact, this first logistic park was inaugurated by Nitin Gadkari. Next is related to Sokar Lake. So this was a pretty simple question because it was one of the most expected question. It is India's latest wetland site as per Ramsar Convention. Total 42 sites are there, and this year, that means 2021, is special for Ramsar Convention because this Ramsar Convention completed 50 years. This was signed in 1971. Ramsar is a name of place in Iran. This is related to wetland conservation, and these 2 wetland complexes were added. These are in Ladakh. So for upcoming exam as well, this Ramsar Convention related issues are very, very important. Next is IPL Purple Cap. So this IPL tournament was organized in UAE, and in this video of 12th November, the most prominent issues related to IPL were covered. So purple cap was given to Kagiso Rabada of Delhi Capital. Purple cap is given to the highest wicket taker. Jofra Archer was given the title of most valuable player. Game changer award was given to Rohit Sharma. Orange cap was given to KL Rahul. Next question was related to Sustainable Development Goal number 5. So this was covered on 22nd of September. So these are the 17 goals and each and every goal is specified. So goal number 5 is gender equality. Actually the short code is PHHEGS. In fact, this short code is also explained in one video. That is poverty, hunger, health, education, gender sensitivity and sanitation. Next question is ranking of different states in India Innovation Index. So this question was covered on 21st of January. As per this, Karnataka is on top position in terms of major category states, Himachal Pradesh is on top position in terms of hilly states, and Delhi is top union territory. This was released by Niti Aayog, and Bihar is the worst performer in major category states. Next question is related to Tea Day. So it was covered on 17th of December and International Tea Day was celebrated on 15th of December. United Nations Tea Day is celebrated on 21st of May. Next question is related to PLI, that is Production Linked Incentive Scheme. So this question was covered explicitly on 2nd of March, and in that video I had mentioned the contribution or the target for different sectors in the context of PLI scheme. So as you can see, the highest allocation is for automobile sector. Next question is related to BlockTech. Next question is related to collaboration of SBI with JP Morgan. So this question was discussed on 5th of March, just one day before examination. Does that mean they frame questions one day before exam? No. That means these events stay in news for a longer period of time and sometimes they are announced in advance. So on the basis of that, these are covered by examiner. So this is the question of this. So this is the news event of 5th of March, and as per this news event, SBI tied up with JP Morgan for its Link platform, and this is a blockchain technology to speed up the overseas transactions. Next question is related to PM WANI. So this was related to proliferation of Wi-Fi networks. This question was covered on 10th of December. This is PM WANI, that is Wi-Fi Access Network Interface. Next question is related to first urban cooperative bank to get the license from RBI to carry on the banking business as SFB, that is Small Finance Bank. So this question was covered on 8th of January, and the name of this bank is Shivalik Mercantile Cooperative Bank, and the headquarters is in Saharanpur. Next question is related to WTO. Again, this was pretty simple question. So Ngozi became the first women director of WTO. Previous one was Roberto Azevedo. In fact, this question has also been covered in Q&A format. This event was covered on 9th of February. Next is minimum limit for RTGS transaction. So this was covered on 13th or 14th of October. Minimum limit is 2 lakh. Why RTGS was in news? Because now RBI announced that it is going to be available round the clock, that is 24/7, and there is no upper limit on this. Next is Good Governance Day. So the question was related to Good Governance Day, and it is celebrated on 25th of December. At that point of time, few initiatives were announced. First was that this Rohtang tunnel was renamed after former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Then Atal Bhujal Yojana was announced and Good Governance Index was announced. This question was covered on 23rd of September. Next is Anil Soni has been appointed as the first for the WHO Foundation. So he has been appointed as the first CEO of WHO Foundation. This question was covered in the news events of 8th of December. So these were the first 30 questions. Again, there is no sequential order of these questions because these are based on the memory. So some of them are going to be from first shift, some of them are going to be from second shift. The point is you need to follow one simple strategy for current affairs or general awareness or whatever you call it. The strategy is limit your sources, and if you are preparing for any one-day examination, then you need to limit your sources to at max 3. Second thing is frequent revision, and if you cannot revise something, do not read it, because in the exam they are not going to ask about the name of President of India. They are going to ask too much details, and in order to recall this, frequent revision is must. Third is do not overcomplicate things. Do not try to switch your sources again and again. Stick to your sources. Of course, they should be basic, and do not look for shortcuts. This is the most common mistake which students commit. Let me explain you how. See, video is the most significant way to influence someone. As compared to text, it is easier to influence someone through video. Problem is that on YouTube, you will see such eye-catching thumbnails that cover these 100 questions and you are good to go. Cover these 50 questions or cover these 20 questions, cover these 10 questions, 5 questions, 1 question. Feel free to do so. But trust me, if you want to clear any officer level examination, you need to have holistic coverage. You cannot go for shortcuts. And that is why I always say, even if you are a working person, try to cover your current affairs section on daily basis, and if that is not possible, weekly is the last limit. And if you think that you are going to cover current affairs on month basis, then I would say that would be a harakiri. Harakiri is a Japanese word for suicide. So if you are serious about any examination, first understand the concept of these competitive examination. These are not your 10th class exam. Here you will have to score in a relative manner. If question paper is tough, that means it is tough for everyone and you just have to score better than others. So if the question paper was very tough and suppose out of 80 questions, only 30 were simple questions, then your goal should be that in these 30 questions, you should not commit mistake. And if you are going to think that, no, I should prepare these 50 questions seriously from 29 different sources, then I can assure you one thing. You are going to commit mistakes in these 30 questions. And obviously, you won't be able to attempt these 50. This is the most common problem. Whenever any exam is conducted, people try to diverse their sources in such a fashion that they think that, no, I'm going to score 100% next time. This is not how things are going to happen. In competitive examination, the cutoff will be decided by the easy questions. It will never be decided by the tough questions because very few people know them. The cutoff will be decided on the basis of the questions which was simple but you committed mistakes on them. So enough of Gyan for this video. In the next video, we are going to discuss some more questions. Till then, keep revising whatever you study. If you are preparing for any examination, revise it, practice it, give time to yourself, test it, and try to analyze your score. Try to find out your mistakes. Do not look for shortcuts. That was all.